Let's be honest. I know many of us are running on caffeine, maybe 7, 5, or even less hours of sleep. And of course, willpower. As we approach the tail end of the semester, everything feels heavier for all of us. Just thinking about plates, exams, readings, org events, and even getting out of bed. Sometimes it feels like we've been sprinting for months on an empty tank. So, for this episode, why don't we have a chat about burnout? I won't call it a weakness when it is something so real and so common, if not the most humane thing an individual experiences. And I believe you don't have to push yourself past your limit just to feel productive. I'm your host, Jetta Fermanes, and I welcome you to The Conscious Mind, living life with serenity. Here with us today are Jim Adrian Flores, a behavioral science student and the external vice president of the UST Behavioral Science Society, and Rowan Darla Oloresissimo, a legal management student. We are all happy to have you here. Siyempre, let me first ask, how are you guys?
Ako, I'm doing okay. Actually, okay in a sense na medyo pagod kasi magfa-finals na and talagang nagpa-pile up yung mga gawain. So, sobrang lala talaga. Ayun, but despite that, okay naman.
Okay naman, that's good to hear. How about you, Darla?
Actually, I just came back from an academic rest kasi I was hospitalized. Pero ngayon naman,
You're okay naman?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm very excited to do academic works.
Excited!
Kailangan may motivation
Yes,
para maka-go
syempre.
through the week.
Okay, so thank you po for sharing how you've been, ano? I'm really glad that you guys are here because many Tomasians right now are feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and unsure how to get back on their feet. For this episode, we want to talk about semestral burnout, why it happens, how we can recognize it, and of course, what are the strategies that might help us recover in healthy and of course, compassionate ways. So we have a few questions prepared, so let's start first with Jim. So this is the question. How would you know if others are experiencing academic or semestral burnout?
Actually, this type of thing kasi, whenever we speak about burnout, nagsisimula siya sa stress. And stress kasi it's a temporary thing. And kapag araw-araw tayong nasa stress, doon na nagsa-start yung burnout. Siguro one indicator is kung paano natin madedetermine na yung isang tao may burnout or nakaka-experience ng burnout is kapag hindi na sila gano'n nakakapag-focus, hindi na sila gano'n na-excite sa mga bagay. Like, nawawala na sila ng will to do things. So that's, I think, one of those are the things siguro na masasabi natin na yung isang tao nakakaramdam na ng burnout na to the point na parang hindi na sila nakaka-feel ng fulfillment sa ginagawa nila. Ayun.
I think you're meaning this yung feeling na survival instincts mo na lang, no, yung nagkikick in. Hindi na siya yung, gusto ko tong gawin. It's more of like, kailangan ko tong gawin.
Yala, parang ginagawa mo na lang siya out of requirement.
Of
Ganon.
necessity.
Oo.
In connection sa answer ni Jim, pag napapansin ko yung mga friends ko, peers, blockmates, medyo nahihirapan na akong kausapin sila. So,
Yes.
parang wala nang motivation to do things. Yun nga, yung necessary na lang.
Yes.
So, parang, syempre, they would do this, may sarili-sarili tayong coping mechanism. Pinaka-common na nakikita ko is parang tumatahimik sila. They would
Yung
do...
isolation, no?
Mm-mm.
Yung hindi ka na nakikipag-interact kasi nga you're just preserving that energy for yourself and dun sa mga kailangan nyong gawin. Thank you for that insights, ano? For the next question, what factors contribute the most to semestral burnout for college students like us?
Siguro, mga factors na nakaka-affect sa burnout is number one, is academic stress as a student And siguro pag may orgs ka, part na din yung org works na yun nga, finals are near. Like lalo na kapag Hell Week, like meron kang org work, tas meron ka ding academic work. So, nagsasabay sila. Ayun, siguro yun yung factor na masasabi nating may burnout, nakaka-experience na ng burnout yung tao. Like, nagsa-start na yun doon. Kasi sunod-sunod na yun na everyday, you've been doing a lot of things and it's really tiring. Parang ganun.
Yung other than overwork na nga, overstimulated ka ba with a lot of things just piling up. Thank you for that, no? For our next question, how do cultural expectations such as the hustle culture or yung grind mindset affect students' mental well-being?
Siguro nakaka-affect siya kapag you've been doing a lot of things to the point na non-stop na yung ginagawa mo, and then plus pa siguro dun yung factor na yung expectations sa'yo ng mga tao. Tapos, ang daming ini-expect sa'yo to the point na you're hustling a lot of things just to prove something to them. Yun yung isang factor but nabe-burnout. Kasi kapag you're doing everything, you've been giving all of your things, like you've been giving a lot, like binibigay mo yung 100% mo sa lahat ng bagay, there will come a point that you will feel empty. And once you feel empty, yun na, dun na nagsa-start na you are feeling burnout. Aabot siya sa point na you will have a difficulty in showing up, something like that.
Diyan nga papasok yung pagiging resilient ng mga Filipino. I think masyado na natin siyang tinitake for granted. Dapat hindi lang siya dapat yung pagbigay ng time sa sarili natin, hindi lang dapat siya reward. It should be a necessity that we should all have within ourselves. Kasi nga kung bigay lang tayo ng bigay sa iba, paano naman yung sarili natin, 'di ba? And for our next question, what is one thing that you wish that you had known earlier about balancing workload and your personal life?
Since medyo personal nga yung question,
Yes.
I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder kasi.
Oh.
So, basically, I have this chemical imbalance sa brain ko na kapag yung mood ko, nag-shift siya ng up and down from time to time. So, with workload and personal life, may time na I would be so excited, super giddy ko mag-aral.
Yes.
To the point na gigising ako ng 6 a.m. Tapos matatapos ako 1 a.m. Pero hindi ko na malaya na nagawa ko na pala lahat in one day.
Naka-lock in flow state.
Super locked in, super motivated, ganyan. Tapos because of that super parang high ko, bigla na lang magka-crush into a depressive episode.
Yes.
So, ayong one thing na dapat nalaman ko is to choose myself na dapat, teka lang, give yourself time. Yung
Yes.
ganon.
I really love that, no? Give yourself time.
Mm-mm.
Kasi nga, at the end of the day, yung relationship mo sa sarili mo, yung kaisa-isang relasyon na kaya mong pagtuunan talaga ng pansin. For our next question, can you share a simple grounding or a coping technique that students can practice even, syempre, during busy days? Kasi nga, as college students, very busy tayo.
I would reassure myself na I am worthy, I am strong, I am smart.
Word affirmation.
Kailangan ko pakita mo na sa sarili ko na kaya ko. Tapos, kakayanin ko, syempre. Wala ko choice. Tapos, ang isa pang ginagawa ko is, ni-schedule ko yung araw ko. Halimbawa, magigising ako, let's say, 7 a.m. 7 to 8, chores ako. Personal work, ganyan. Pagpe-prepare. Tapos, mga 9 a.m., magsastart na ako sa work ko, ganyan. Tapos, kapag I would have this little space, let's say 30 minutes na parang, yun yung time na pwede akong ma-overwhelm sa gagawin ko. Na parang yun yung step back time ko para makita ko kung nag-improve ba ako, kung nagka-crush ba ako, since nasabi ko diba na bipolar ako. So para alam ko kung paano i-regulate yung emotions ko. So yung pag-step back at saka pag-reassure sa sarili, yung pinaka-importante for me.
Nagustuhan ko yung pag-organize mo dun sa day mo kasi other than stepping forward, you also provided yourself a step back, a time to rest, a time to reassure yourself, and a time to reassess. Thank you for that, And for our next question naman, what would you say to a fellow Thomasian who feels guilty for resting or asking for help?
Siguro what I can say sa fellow Somasians ko na ayun nga, feels guilty for resting or asking for help, siguro I would tell you na you should not be guilty of that. Kasi after all, resting is a necessity, not a luxury. Mahirap kasi sa atin ngayon, like specifically on our generation, na yung resting kasi, nagiging luxury siya to the point na gaya nga ng sabi mo kanina, nagiging reward natin siya after doing a lot of things. And I want to reassure you guys na hindi nyo dapat or hindi dapat natin finiframe ang rest into a luxury. Rather, dapat finiframe natin siya as a necessity. Kasi kapag hindi tayo nag-rest, like dire-diretso tayong gumagawa ng mga bagay na ginagawa natin, we will really feel empty, and that emptiness leads to burnout. And kapag nag-expand pa yung burnout, mas malala pa yung mangyayari. And kapag whenever you feel things, like you feel like you cannot do things by yourself, ask for help. Like, there's no shame in asking for help. Kasi asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Ayun kasi din yung isang pinaka-problema sa atin na kapag nag-ask tayo ng help, parang mahina tayo or what. When in fact, asking for help would help us grow. Oo. And like what I'm always saying to people, you cannot do things by yourself.
Learn how to pause, and of course, don't be ashamed to ask for help. It is definitely not a weakness. Thank you for that. And about you, Darla?
I always say to my friends kapag nag-o-overwork sila na, hindi ka robot, be. Kailangan mo ng pahinga.
Yes, tao ka.
So, there's one thing din sa akin na naramdaman ko before. Pag napapagod ako, tas parang, alam mo yung na-overwhelm ka na super. Iniisip ko na, ay, normal lang to. Ganyan, baka kaya ko naman. Kung may nararamdaman ka na pagod, hinanakit, iba't ibang feelings sa sarili mo na hindi mo maintindihan, you can always ask for help. Meron tayong mga guidance counselors, tapos meron din tayong hospital. So, mas madali tayong makakuha ng support system if we would reach out. And we should always reach out, lalo na kung alam natin, di na natin kaya.
I love that, no? Meron talaga tayong mga services and of course, resources to provide help. And I really love yung sinabi mo na you are not alone. Meron kang palaging kasama at meron tutulong sa'yo sa kahit anong mangyayari. Nandiyan ng kaibigan, mga pamilya natin, and of course, the Tumashan community. Thank you guys for that. Do you have, syempre of course, any final reminders for our dear viewers?
Siguro what I want to tell people, we always say this sa Besok, that we are always beside you. Like, may mga tao na talagang lagi nandyan para sa inyo. You may notice it or not, ipakita man nila or hindi, pero nandyan sila for you. Kasi there are other people that are not expressive. And I want you to know that. And I want to tell you as well that there's no shame in asking for help. Kasi asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but rather a sign that you're acknowledging what is wrong with you. And that is really important.
And how about you, Darla?
In addition naman sa sinabi ni Jim is I would like to spread awareness na dapat meron tayong sarili nating healthy na coping mechanism. May it be na magkwento ka na lang ng kung ano-ano sa tropa mo, kahit paulit-ulit ka, kahit na sabihin nila na nasabi mo na yan, pero at least meron kang healthy na parang way para i-express sa sarili mo. Katulad din ang sinabi ni Jim na hindi lahat ng tao expressive. So, always find something to express yourself.
And thank you so much, guys, for all of those responses. Those are truly meaningful and truly a reminder for all of us. Tigers, burnout is not a sign that you are failing. Please do take it as a sign that you've been trying for too long without rest. You are not weak for slowing down, nor are you lazy for taking a break. You are human, and you deserve care just as much as you give effort. Make sure to check out more from UST Tiger TV on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Once again, I am your host, Jetro Firmanes, and this is the Tiger TV's The Conscious Mind, reminding us to live life with serenity and to believe healing comes from within. Take care, Tigers.